的が参ります。ご注意ください。
Hey friends, what's good? So today we're going to be talking about sports anime. And I want to talk a little bit about how I got this idea in the first place. Sports anime has become more and more popular as new seasons and new animes have been coming out. This fall 2020 season, we have a new season of Haikyuu, which is super popular, very compelling, and is a great depiction of volleyball. And you know, we have the OGs like Prince of Tennis, we have Kuroko no Basket, we have Diamond no Ace. There are a lot of sports that are covered in anime, which is great. And I think the appeal of sports anime is that there is this storyline where the main character works really hard to achieve his or her goals. There's also that team environment, and not only is there a very compelling storyline, but it also teaches people a lot about the sport if they're unfamiliar with it. So it's great to have this fantasy storyline, but also being able to convey the sports in realness. And of course, it just makes for great television. Now, one sport that is near and dear to me is not really represented in sports anime, and that sport is badminton. Now, I know what you're gonna say. There is a badminton anime, and yes, I know. If you don't know, it's called Hanabedo or Hanebedo or something like that. And before I even talk about Hanebedo, I do want to say it's not a good representation of badminton as a sport. Now, it still has a compelling storyline where the main character tries to get back into badminton after she quit because her mom left her because she lost a match once, and so she kind of has to overcome that trauma of playing and kind of turns into devil of the court because of her trauma, which okay, that storyline already, that's not a good representation of badminton, because if people are gonna think that your parents are gonna abandon you and you're gonna turn into a devil playing this sport, no one's gonna wanna play it, no one's gonna be interested in it in the first place. That storyline, as compelling as it is, doesn't really give a great thumbs up to the sport of badminton in the first place. I need to look up badminton anime. Badminton anime, Hanebedo, Hanebado. Something else that you see in other sports animes that you don't really in Hanebado is just learning about the sport in the first place. I feel like Hanebado focuses a lot more on the storyline and the character instead of the development of the game, as well as rules and stuff like that. Which I am actually very surprised, because if you watch a lot of other sports animes, take for example Haikyuu or Yuri on Ice if you're interested in that kind of stuff, those main characters or those teams are kind of more or less depictions of the real life Japanese national team, as well as Olympic medalists and stuff like that. So there is this relation between the characters versus the real life athletes. Not all sports animes have this, but I am thinking like if the sport is popular in Japan or if they have achievements in the sport, it's more or less going to be depicted in anime in some sort of sense. Maybe not as the main character, but they're gonna have to mention it somewhere because it is an achievement, right? Which is why I'm so confused as to why this is not happening for badminton, and badminton has not entered the anime scene in a big way. Because if you look at the Japanese national team, for each event there's a top 10 Japanese player or pair in every event. So, you know, men's doubles, women's doubles, men's singles, women's singles, and in a lot of them there's even more than one or multiple pairings or people that are in the top 10 in the world that are from the Japanese national team. So for the sport itself to be so successful for Japan and not have that kind of recognition is kind of baffling to me. Now, I may be the only one that cares about badminton and anime coming together in this genre and making it a popular thing, just because those are two of my hobbies, so I, you know, always want things that I like to intersect. And from the time that I was in Japan, I always thought that badminton was something that is more or less popular in Japan, because they take badminton or a lot of sports at the high school level a lot more seriously than they did at my old high school here. My old high school, we weren't really like focusing on people to get scholarships for college or anything like that either. But if anime was made anywhere else in the world, I know it would not be a topic that people would want to create an anime from, just because at least in the States, it's not too popular. In Western cultures, it's not necessarily the most popular sport ever. Some even ask whether it is a sport or not, and to those people, I say, why don't you try it before you say crap like that, you know? But nevertheless, you know, because of the success of the Japanese team, as well as a lot of people do play the sport in Japan, I just would have assumed that there would be more material, not just anime, but manga as well, for badminton. And I think the reason why Hanebado is the only badminton anime existing right now is because there aren't any manga really that are written about badminton either. If you look up manga about badminton, you'll see in the search results that Hanebado is ranked #1 as the most popular. Now I'm pretty sure if something is being pitched as an anime, it has to be a popular manga first. So because there aren't really many manga in general that are popular in the badminton section, and a lot of the badminton manga that exists right now are still being written, still going on, still continuing right now. That doesn't leave much material to create an anime in the first place. So based on that alone, I understand why there aren't very many badminton animes right now. But that aside, my personal opinion really is Hanebado is not a good representation of badminton itself. I think the manga and the anime were so popular in the first place just because of the storyline, which I'm not saying it's not worth watching or it is a bad storyline, but you know, when you watch the scenes where they actually play badminton, it's just very disappointing. I don't feel the same action like I do when I watch Prince of Tennis when they're doing their special moves, or Haikyuu, or Kuroko no Basket. Those games and the competition is so much more fierce, I feel like, than in Hanebado. I just think it's because the storyline overshadows the sport itself, as I said before. So, you know, nothing wrong with the anime, but if you're looking to actually have anime that is a good representation of badminton itself, this is not the one. Like honestly, and I hate to say it, even Keijo, the anime where the girls fight each other with their boobs and their butts and knock them into water, has better sports moments than Hanebado does. And that's like really cringe to say, because that other anime, like that's not even a sport. I mean, yet. We'll see what goes on in the future. But to say Keijo, which is completely fan service, has better sports anime moments than an actual sports anime, just kind of makes me feel sad, because Hanebado is supposed to represent badminton in some kind of way, like literally just because it's the only badminton anime, right? I don't want to go off on it anymore. If you haven't seen it, I still recommend that you watch it, or you know, take a look at some clips on YouTube, see what you think about it. If you have watched it or you've just seen a little bit here and there, what do you think about it? Leave your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. Also, if you like videos like this, make sure to like this video. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.